Stitch Café at the Duncairn is a community group, and we run from 10:30 to 1:30 every Monday. You don't need to sign your life away, you're just on candid camera.
Put that over beside you, that one.
And we have the idea that it is a place of socialisation, of skill sharing, and a chance to just enjoy and relax each other's company.
This is my moment.
What is your moment?
How is Canada? Freezing. Canada is freezing.
Also hopefully contributing to community charities, as well as learning new skills and working on your own projects.
The Americans have something.
£1.50 a ball.
You're joking me.
Honestly? At Walmart, yeah. So we'll go back next week. Don't be.
She's such a good part of the conversation, and she's very interesting, I think. So I just want to make her feel welcome, because sometimes she might just run away. My name's Aruna Murphy, and I'm the lead volunteer for the Stitch Café at the Duncairn Arts Centre. My original background is in the arts, and when I first moved to Belfast now 22 years ago, I really wanted to get back involved somehow into either working with community groups or exhibition work or something like that. And the way that I found my path again was to attend some printmaking workshops here at the Duncairn, and got to meet a number of really great people, one of which was Debbie Young. And then after a very nice, very timely conversation, the seed of the idea for Stitch Café was born, because she was like, "Oh, don't you knit and crochet?" And I went, "Well, I do a bit." And she said, "Do you think you could teach it?" And I went, "Maybe, okay, let's talk about that." So, and that's how it's begun. So that's now over 7 years ago.
We were talking about the borders, whether we do black or a dark green.
Yeah.
And it did start off nice and small, and the word got out very quickly, and there was actually a real need for it in the area. So many people still attend from day one, and we've got a really good core group now attending. So it's done really well so far. Very enjoyable.
Right. Can I go talk you through this? Yeah, talk me through that one, and I'm going to make notes. And I'm going to write them down again.
No, you're not going to write anything down, you're going to go through this.
I might do. She actually crocheted. Yes.
I am Patricia Cummings-Boyd. I live in Ballyclare, so I do. I am retired. When I was working, I really used to come into the shop to buy wool, and I got chatting to Aruna, and I used to say to her, some Monday I'll get some Monday off and I'll come down with you. And then when I retired, that's what I done. I decided then I'll come down to Stitch Café, see what it's like, see if I like it, and I've been here ever since. 7 years down the line, I'm still here. I used to hate Mondays, absolutely detested Mondays. But see now, I can't wait for Mondays, because you're coming down and you can see the laughter and everybody helps you. It's like this morning I'm planning to go to London or England for a funeral, and I'm asking the girls what you do with your liquids and stuff like that, and they're all very helpful. So sort the world out, and it's just lovely. It's the companionship. Verona does a crochet class on Wednesday night, teaching crochet for women starting, and I would help her, because if you take 8 people who's never crocheted before, that's a lot of people to get round. So Verona takes half the class and I would take half the class, and we've just finished a group there at the minute, and we're having some of them coming back to the next class, and from what I gather we'll have a meal one coming as well, which should be interesting. You know, the only thing I found difficult was teaching someone who's left-handed, because I can do a wee bit left-handed, but I'm not very good at crocheting left-handed. You know, but we did get them, and they're crocheting away, and it's just lovely at the end of the 6 weeks for someone who's never crocheted before to actually be sitting there reading a pattern and enjoying it.
A strand of that and a strand of double knit.
But she works full time now.
Yeah.
Oh, like that and that together. Yeah.
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 Right.
Yeah.
And you chained 3?
Yeah, which is that.
Okay, and you're working one treble.
I'm Frances Mackenzie and I'm from North Belfast. I'm almost retired nurse. Do very little work now as a nurse, but I was a nurse for like 42 years. So I have more time in my hands now, which is great. And I discovered the Duncairn Arts Centre probably about 3 years ago. Just dipping in and out of different things, and I've always wanted to learn crochet. So about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, Aruna, our teacher, was running a 6 weeks course for ultimate beginners, which definitely suited me. And I did that on a Thursday night, and it ran for about 6 weeks. And then amazingly, she was saying, no, you know what, you can then come and join the Stitch Café on a Monday morning. And I thought, flip, that's great, you know. So that's what I do on a Monday morning. And it's just great. You know what? It gives you a routine. You think, flip, and I need to be there. I get my wee crochet bag ready. And Aruna texts you the night before, give me a tick if you're coming, tick, 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 tick. And it's so relaxed. It is a drop-in. So you don't, if you can't attend or you're late, you just attend or don't attend. If you haven't lifted a crochet hook for 3 weeks, it doesn't matter. It's as much about the banter and the atmosphere and the chat.
You joking? Do you want that opened?
Yeah, I haven't really ever
She's
got
never got her nails done.
Just cut my nails done.
My name's Emily Wilson, and how I got involved in the Stitch Café goes way back round about 2019, and I would be much more, I'm an advocate for people living with dementia. So when we were launching Dementia Friendly North Belfast, the ladies from the Stitch Café came down because they had knit quite a number of twiddle muffs, and twiddle muffs, as the dementia progresses, people actually twiddle. But if you've nothing to twiddle with, you know, it looks, so the twiddle muffs means that the people can twiddle with the sort of whatever you've knit into the actual muff. So I got talking to the ladies, absolutely wonderful, very, very supportive. In fact, that day it was Marion, Aruna, of course, and Patricia. And that day I asked them, would they accept anybody in the knitting and crochet class that had sort of the early stages of dementia right up to the mid, along with their care, and they were more than welcoming. But then unfortunately COVID hit and everything stopped. So once things started up again, I just called in one morning and asked them the same question again, and they went, of course, and I've been here ever since. And they've been an absolute wonderful support, because my husband, just before the onset of the lockdown, had actually died as a result of his dementia. So they've been absolutely wonderful.
Because crochet, you just go into your own wee world, and it's great for your mental health. So it is. And the companionship round the table on a Wednesday night is absolutely lovely. I'm somewhere else.
Yeah.
I'm in the Bahamas somewhere, the Maldives. I'll never get there. I will. Right, how's your square turn out there?
The square's turning out all right.
Let's see. I think the chain one in between it has helped it a bit.
I think
It's not pulled it.
It's not pulled.
No.
I crochet.
Brilliant.
I crochet too tight.
No, but you went up a hook size there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, my name's Marion. I come here on a Monday morning with Patricia, and I started together, and it just came a regular Monday morning event, because we come down, and as you can see from the girls in the class, or well, it's not really a class, we just talk about everything. Sometimes there's not too much crocheting or knitting done, but we've all got a good relationship. There's small groups of us in the Monday night class would go away for a few days, just to different parts of Northern Ireland. So we started off with 2 nights, and then it went to 3 nights, and then last year
4 of us from Monday class went to Scotland for Hogmanay. So that was great.
Yeah, we didn't get snowed in. I wanted snowed in.
Yeah. We got
So
snow.
we did. Yeah, we did. We're out dancing in it, weren't we?
Right.
Then it stretches, is it?
Yeah. If you know, I saw, I almost saw, but this one I did not say. It's perfect.
So in the 7 years, while we've worked on our own personal projects over the years, and again we've all developed our skills doing that, we've as a group decided on a few charity projects, some of which have been the Preemie baby hats, of which we've made probably 500 over the last few years, and then we donate them up to the Royal Hospital, and then they're distributed, you know, to the community. We have made dementia twiddle muffs, and they are quite involved because there's a lot of attachments and things that we make, but it keeps dementia patients very calm. So it is just like a circular tube, and then we add all beautiful ribbons and, you know, things to occupy people's hands with, and it keeps people's hands comfortable and warm. So we've made all of those and donated those to dementia-friendly charities. We have also done these lovely little hearts for the Northern Ireland Hospice. So I brought this in because a very small thing can hold a lot of power. And while it doesn't take us very long to make, the hospice actually give these to the families of people at end-of-life care, and also to the person who is at end-of-life care. And they actually give photographs and everything with these hearts in people's hands, so as a token and of a memory holder. So that to me, when they were calling out for hearts, and a friend of mine works there, when they were calling out for hearts to be made, I just thought, oh, what a wonderful thing to help support families at such a difficult time. So again, we've donated, you know, about 150 to the Northern Ireland Hospice. I actually brought one to New York on a recent trip and placed it on the John Lennon Memorial of Imagine in Central Park. And I did that for my dad because he was such a great Beatles fan. And the significance of that was incredible. It was very, very moving. So I just sort of thought, God, imagine, it really must mean so much to the families then that receive these. And it creates that bond between their loved one and then something to take away with them, you know, when the time comes. I think it's really nice to have 1 or 2 projects through the year that we do focus on. And at the moment we're working towards a pretty grand project. It's our first collaborative project in a crochet Christmas tree, knit and crochet Christmas tree I should say. But that is actually us, rather than working on individual items and then bringing them together as a group, we're actually collaborating this time and doing elements to join them all up and create a beautiful Christmas tree for the Duncairn.
It's lovely.
The diamond festive as well.
Yeah.
It's lovely, isn't it? Because it gives you that look of the stained glass.
It does, it does. And then you've got the highlights, you know, there's a little bit of gold.
Yeah.
And then you've got your lovely complementary colours, you know, bouncing off each other there too. So the inspiration for the crochet Christmas tree is actually the rose window in the Duncairn Arts Centre itself. So we're trying to focus on a selected palette of colours, lovely blues and purples and magentas, and with a hint of gold, and to try and reflect the beautiful design of the rose window and have that as a direct link to the Duncairn Arts Centre, which has become our home, you know, and we feel very, very comfortable and very welcomed here. So we would like to try and create something that shows how much, you know, we relate to the space and all the people in it.
There is something very much, you know, you're sitting there and your hands take over, and there is something very much about that creative process. I can't really put it into words, but there's something about the creative process that reduces your anxiety and your stress levels and just brings everything down. But to me, it's more than knitting and crocheting. In that group here, it's the only word I can say really is love. It's the love and support that you get. I must admit, I'd be lost without the girls. And when I say girls, there's probably none of us under the age of 50 at the moment.
I just love doing it. So it helps me because I suffer from depression. Although sometimes you wouldn't think it, but I do suffer from depression. And this wee community here in the Stitch Café helps. So it does. It's like Cara lost her husband before Christmas, and the whole group just rallied round her.
The Stitch Café brings enjoyment, it brings laughter. We actually have had times where we have supported each other through really, really difficult times. All those ladies in there have a life story. Life hasn't been easy for many of us, but it's just that love and just that, as I said, I think at the very beginning, it's just that feeling of a really warm, cosy blanket being put around you and that feeling of safety and security.
Aruna she's just top notch. She's great. She's very, very inclusive. And whenever anybody new walks in, Aruna will go round all the names and say, hi, that, like, you know, oh, this is Frances, this is Lan, and she'll go round all the names, you know, with whoever happens to come in.
A bit smaller, yes. The ethos really is that I wanted to have was that I'm not a teacher. I'm here as part of the group, just, you know, the coordination role. And the motto is to learn, share and enjoy. So rather than somebody standing up, oh, you have to do this and you have to do this on any given day, we just informally just show each other how to do different stitches or look what I made over the weekend, and we all just generally discuss and learn from that. And you know, the crack is brilliant too. But that's why you come here and say, here, show me how to do that. Well, I think the future of the Stitch Café is in the hands of the people that are here now. You know, I think as long as everybody's feeling great about coming here every Monday, if it isn't broken, don't fix it kind of a thing.
I wouldn't change anything in the Stitch Café. So I wouldn't, and I would like to think the Stitch Café would continue for many more years and that the group would get bigger. So well, and usually after the 6-week course, you get people coming into it from the previous ones, and yeah, it's open to anybody. You don't have to knit, you don't have to crochet, you don't have to sew, you can come in and just sit there and chat away. So you can, so yes, I would like to think that it would still continue on in years to come. It's that wee group, it's just more than a wee crochet class. It's just friendship, community, and helping each other through the good times and bad times.